All right, good day, my friends. My name is Tracy Repchuk, and I'm the host of Reach Millions TV, an entrepreneurial lifestyle and learning channel where I will educate and introduce you to some of the powerhouses in their fields. As an entrepreneur for over 37 years, I've had the good fortune to appear in Forbes over 27 times, speak in 39 countries, appeared on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, won awards from the Senate, the Assembly, the White House, and President Obama, written 9 #1 international bestsellers, and along that journey, I have reached millions with my message. So I wanted to show you and introduce you to amazing people that can help you find more leads, make more sales, and reach millions with your message. So you can find out more about me at tracyrepchuk.com or reachmillionsacademy.com. Now, today we have a rock star guest, Precious L. Williams, also affectionately known as Killer Pitch Master. She can help you slay all competition with her killer elevator pitches, her media pitches, and investor pitches. Her clients include Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, NBC Universal. She has been on the top television shows and publications for pitching, branding, and professional speaking skills with over 26 years of experience in creating unique speaking and public speaking techniques. She is about to rock your world. Precious, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. I have to say that was the best reading of my bio. You knew exactly what to cut in and cut out. I loved it.
Well, thank you. I'm learning from the master already.
Okay.
Now, there are so many places we can start. Your bio's off the hook, your history's off the hook, but I want to go back a bit, just before those major successes. Take us back to the beginning when you knew you were an entrepreneur, knew you were a speaker.
Well, I've known I was a speaker since I was 16 years old. In fact, my first speaking engagement was before the mayor of the city of St. Louis, Mayor Freeman Bosler Jr. And my second speaking engagement was before the governor of Missouri. So I don't know some people who start off speaking to big time politicians, especially when I grew up in the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. But to really know that I was a speaker really took place in my 30s. You just think, oh, everybody can do it, till you realize that not everybody can, right? We make what we do look easy because we're professionals at it. And having done this for 26 years, I still enjoy it. Being the killer pitch master really started in 2013 after I won my 13th National Elevator Pitch Championship, which was the Black Enterprise National Elevator Pitch Competition on May 16, 2013. And the great Robert Townsend, who directed and starred in the movie The Five Heartbeats, and MC Light, one of the greatest MCs to have ever done it, they crowned me the killer pitch master on stage, and I couldn't even believe it. Not only did I win the big prize of $10,000, I also was crowned killer pitch master because I slay all competition. But if we really want to go back in time, can we talk about when people told me I was too fat, too Black, and didn't have an Ivy League degree? Never mind that I have English in Spelman College. Never mind that I'm an award-winning attorney in the great state of New York. People said that there's no way that I could go up against people who look nothing like me, who had the connections, the media, they grew up with all these sort of things. And what they didn't count on is I used every perceived flaw as my secret weapon. Because I was different, it was time for me to embrace that difference and not to walk in and like, oh, I should be in the background. I'm like, no, I should be in the foreground. You see this, you see the hair, you see all of this. I embrace difference, and I also embrace difference with a purpose, not just to be different, but to be different with a purpose. And so when I'm working with the Googles, the LinkedIn's, and the Microsofts, do know there was a time I never thought that was possible because people told me it would never happen. But when you create your own lane as a speaker, when you create your own lane as a sales professional, when you create your own lane as an entrepreneur, when people tell you your back is against the wall, that's when I come out swinging. And so that's how it all started. When they told me I couldn't do it, my grandmother used to make me get into the mirror, and she's like, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. She's watching, so I couldn't be like, I don't really believe you, but she watches. So I'm the greatest of all time. Oprah's gonna know my name. I'm gonna speak before kings and queens. I'm gonna be on national television. I'm gonna be on international. She spoke my life into existence. She spoke that I was gonna be an international professional speaker and a corporate trader. Who does that when you're from the hood of St. Louis, Missouri? She did.
I love so many things you said in that. One was People telling you can't do this. I think every entrepreneur's journey starts with those types of pushbacks. I'll never forget when I said to my mom I was going to be an entrepreneur. So I was 19 years old. I was going to start a software company, 1985. Girls didn't do it. And she literally started to cry because she thought I was my education now down the toilet, right? And so, I was definitely the black sheep of the family. I did not go the path. And I think that is an entrepreneur. And then the other thing I really loved what you said was, use your flaws purposefully, really leverage them and understand, how do you point them out if that's what it's going to take? Or how do you use them in your stage presence, in who you are? And I think that has to happen for someone to be authentic. And of course, that's, I'm sure, your direct path.
Well, definitely. And let's be clear, I didn't start off with this kind of confidence. As you know, and as I know, you build your way into this. Yeah. And the reason why you use your perceived flaws, age, race, class, sex, sexual orientation, differently abled, LGBT. Notice I said perceived flaws, they're not real. People want to put you in a box. Society will put you in this box. And I don't know about you, I ain't trying to get a box. I didn't want a certain life, even though I was told to go to school, get your law degree, stay doing that. But if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. And I wanted to be able to do something that the great Ty Goodwin always says. When you step into your purpose, another woman can step into hers. But until someone sees you do it, it doesn't seem like it can be done. And so that's why I come in light, bright, colorful, because none of the companies that I'm blessed to be associated with, blessed to consult with, blessed to speak and train and has ever said, Precious, we'd love for you to just wear a black suit and some pearls. We'd love for you to wear a long straight wig. No one has ever said that to me. They're like, you're different and we need that, especially after a pandemic, in the midst of a pandemic, an economic downturn and social unrest. The tried and true ain't working no more. So we need someone who's like a breath of fresh air, who has credentials, who's done what she said she's done. And my as young people say, receipts. My receipts are from yesterday, not 10 years ago and not from 5 years ago. My clients are popping. They're getting on Shark Tank. They are getting the corporate training contract. They're getting paid speaking gigs. They are also launching their books, their businesses, their brands, their products and services in a time when people say it's not even possible. The fact that I'm in the Luminary right now in New York City, this is, where my office is. So, the great Kate Luzio had to put together a place like this that was welcoming to women so that we can grow our business. I just start, grow, expand too. And so that's why I'm blessed to be here and to have this conversation. If we reach millions, we need to be teaching millions so they can make millions. Do you hear me now?
Exactly. And I love, particular focus. So my whole focus is really on women. I feel you're speaking to that direction as well, because, in many cases, we are the ones that, have carried the economic downturn. Yes. We are the ones that are kind of reshaping the direction in many ways, the conversations, the way other people are treated, the empathy, the nurture, all of these elements are coming together to create a compassion for planet, humanitarian, all of the pieces. And I just love that this is happening. And if the world needed a reboot for everybody to get noticed, or for those bright shining stars to get noticed, then that's definitely the direction we want to go. Now, definitely. Again, yes, I have been around too, like yourself. I think I'm in my, I want to say 37th year now. From my experience, you don't achieve this much success without almost equal parts obstacles and barriers. What is the one you have learned? I know personally, I could spend days telling you about my obstacles and my barriers. What's the one you learned from the most?
Talking about the things that have happened and transpired.
Yeah, exactly. That one that was almost the oh no, I got to do this because that happened.
Yes. So for me, I don't know if you knew this. So I grew up, it was a rough time. I didn't even feel real love in my life until I was 15 years old. And by that time, for most of us, that's too late. But my grandmother, she spoke life into me. And it's funny, she knew when I was a little girl, she saw me at 5 years old creating stick figures to speak to because I want to be like Sally Jesse Raphael and Phil Donahue. Isn't that amazing? You're like,
That's
what about Oprah?
great.
Oprah came later. I remember Sally Jesse Raphael with her red glasses and she was older and she was short. And I thought she was the cutest thing. And I was like, I like the way she looks. I want to do what she look at me. Okay, we just switched around. Okay, and so for her to believe in my speaking talent and my gifts, I'm in the inner city. There's no way I should be speaking to the top of the top when it's in the state of Missouri, and that carried me so far. But the truth of the matter is, listen, I went through homelessness and severe alcohol addiction very, very recently. So the love of my life died. I don't know about Shark Tank was amazing. It was a wonderful experience, but there was so much turmoil that even came with that. I was shooting a movie at the same time. Like when I tell you, when I look back over my life, I'm like, I've had the greatest highest of highs, and I've also had the lowest of lows. I have thought so less of myself that I didn't ask for my worth. I thought so less of myself that I would show up on set just totally toasted off of champagne because I did not believe I deserved to be there. She was someone smaller, someone prettier, someone with a BBL, someone with six-pack abs, that I almost squandered every opportunity. And so when I went into a Christ-centered life transformation program, I didn't know what was possible. I didn't know that I would meet my higher power in my darkest hour. When everyone turned their backs on me, all those big time people, everybody throws up. Yeah, those same people that turned their backs on me and said I would never make it. So to be right here with you, to be 4.5 years clean and sober from alcohol, to have grown up around addiction my whole life. My father's been an addict since 18 and he's in his 60s now, still an addict. To be clean and sober, to live in a 2-bedroom apartment in New York City by myself, to be a recipient of grants, to be a recipient of big women in business awards in the less than 3 years, to come out of homelessness to do what I do. That shows you the power of pitching, right? It also shows you why I wrote Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. Now, of course, people gave me pushback on the title. I ain't changed it. Actually, my book coach and publisher said, that's not your target market. It's not it's men. It's the women who are ready to break free of every box that everybody's put them in, and the box they put themselves in. So when I wrote that, did I ever think that Forbes magazine would review it? No. Did I think I'd have a billboard in Times Square? No. And now my third book just debuted on April 13th called Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. Now I have a triple threat now. That book was reviewed by Forbes magazine, and then another billboard in Times Square, and it's a #1 bestseller. So I've had 3 #1 bestsellers in less than 3 years. So when I tell you pitching is how pitching, why is it important to be able to pitch? How do you get prospects who've never heard your name to check you out? How do you get other people to pitch you in rooms you've never been? I told you I came from the gutter. I came from the dirt, the mud. And to be able to walk into spaces, fly first class, flew out like an Instagram thotty. Like I am a speaker, international professional speaker, and a corporate trainer. I love training and teaching, but I am not a coach. And being able to own that. And if everybody wants to call themselves that, that's not me. I'm the killer pitch master. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not an inspirational speaker. I'm not a transformational speaker. I'm the killer pitch master. So if you want to pitch slap your slump in sales, if you want to get it popping when it comes to selling yourself, when it comes to putting yourself out there, getting that visibility, that marketing, and that branding that puts you on another level, that people only come to you for it, not everybody else. That is why I think pitching is so essential. And writing those books really put me at a certain level. My credentials went up because when people couldn't afford my services, you know what they could afford? A book.
Yeah, exactly.
And then being booked and having the federal government buy my books, to have, these big companies buy my book in the boxes, not one book, not two, in boxes. I'm thankful to my higher power for saying, just because you fell, understand. I can't hear. I saw somebody said she couldn't hear, but what I'm saying is pitching ain't easy, but it sure is fun. And when you master it as a master, not someone just starting, but if you master it well, there's no situation you could ever be in that you can't make it happen. You can be at Whole Foods chopping it up with the cashier. Next thing you know, someone over here is listening like, oh, can I get that book?
Yeah.
Word. I wouldn't even try to fail. Thank you.
Well, that's yeah, I agree. Now you mentioned within there so many things, and I'm going to pull out a few. You were obviously a shark on stage, so tell us about getting on Shark Tank and what were you pitching?
So my first company was called Curvy Girls Lingerie, the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and plus
Nice,
size.
nice.
So as y'all can tell, I'm a full-figure diva. I started my company when I was 327 pounds. I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor who is now deceased. And of course, no one believed I could do it because I was an attorney, right? Mm-hmm. And so I went to an event, and I'm gonna tell you, this is the quickest story. So I went to an event I could not afford, had negative $400 in my bank account, walked up to the producers of MSNBC and pitched not even knowing how to do it.
Wow.
That one pitch got me onto MSNBC's Your Business with JJ Ramberg. Mm-hmm. I got a $500,000 investment. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that led to? Entering 14 pitch competitions and coming out on top 13 times. So it was an additional $150,000. And wow. Then people would come to me saying, hey, I'm going on Shark Tank. Could you help me? Jigga who? Jigga what? So 5 of my clients had already appeared on Shark Tank. And I knew it was only a matter of time for the tea leaves. How'd you not? Precious.
Wow.
Precious woman. So I had a private audition. Yeah. And I love that because I never stood in line. I never did American Idol style anything. And so when I flew out on September 11th, 2016, which you know in New York is a very touchy date, but I flew out and I filmed on September 15th, 2016. And can I tell you, when you're in your zone of genius, I walked in with a low cut, canary yellow peplum dress, and afro and extreme makeup, like just ridiculous. I had my full figure divas with me. And I remember when that first door opened, I'm thinking it's gonna be music. Oh, no music. But I was gonna dance.
You just walked in. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, yeah, top me up. Let's get it from the beginning. I want to be tailor-made for this. But no music. So I walked. And then the second door open, you see the shark. I don't know why I felt like Deion said, it's prime time. It's time. Give me, run me. And so I stood on my X and I went in. And I'm telling you, it was such an amazing feeling to watch her eyes get bigger and bigger. And then I was going to say, okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. And the door opened, my full figure divas came out. Mark Cuban said, you go, girl. Robert Hershevik said, watching you is like watching a master at their craft. I want to say, can we cut? But you have to keep going. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. There's no breaks. But I really want to be like he said it to a Black woman. And I really want to speak to that. Being a woman of color, Black woman, all of us as women have been counted out. And there was this expectation that I would fall on my face. And I was like, I'm a 13-time national champion. What they gonna ask me that I have never been asked? I'm ready. And to walk away, I burst into tears after it was over. Wow. Because I couldn't believe that it went better than The Secret ever told me. That book, The Secret, it went better. Yeah. And the producer was like, why are you crying? Is something wrong? I said, no, I just wanted to prove once and for all that a Black woman could do it. Wow. Beautiful. And so it was a wonderful experience. I just experienced trauma when I went back home because, not from Shark Tank, but my ex-business partner and I just really got into it. It got ugly to death. It was a lot of ugliness, but I can tell you from experience, the Shark Tank experience was so amazing. They came and did a home visit and it was wonderful. And just knowing that I did it was something that people told me I could not do. And that's why I want to tell people your perceived flaws are your secret weapon. They are never going to see you coming because they've already dismissed you. And because so many people dismiss me as a Black woman, a woman with meat on her bones, that's why I tell them I'm the female MacGyver of business. What you got?
That was that's so funny. You just literally let in the next question. It says you are stated best known as being the female MacGyver of business.
Girl, give me what does that look like? No door, no crack in the window. I'm gonna find it. It's like that saying, Clark Atlanta University, I'll find a way to make one. And the beautiful thing about success, Queen, if we're gonna keep it a buck, the beautiful thing is the more successful you get, there are doors that just start to open that never opened before. Right. There are people who are going to see you and see that they need you over here that you didn't know before. I started pitching honestly to help people win pitch competitions. I never thought that it would turn into so many people needing to know how to pitch. How about this? I didn't know people needed to know before they know how to pitch. They need to learn how to have the confidence to speak publicly. which led to me creating Booked and Busy master classes for speakers, which led me to creating one-on-one pitch courses, group coaching programs. It led me to creating digital products. So one thing led to so much more. And then when the companies and corporations were interested in hiring me to speak and then turning it into corporate training contracts, I'm telling you, I feel like this is the best, this is the wildest ride. I didn't know that this could happen from one skill set and talent. You think speaking is good. When you narrow your niche, then people really come to you because now you have receipts. That's why you have to ask for testimonials. That's why you have to be on top of people with how did they feel? What feedback could they give? What could you have done better? Would they recommend you to other people and then start getting them to recommend you? Yeah. Sales is nothing if you don't have the network and you don't have people who see the value in you and you have proven it time and time again. And so that's what I love about sales is the no's are going to come, but those yeses are so much sweeter. And that's why I picture be just a juicy morsel, an enticement of more to come. It's not the full meal deal. It's just that first fork spoon. You only want to entice. And then get to that next step. Are we going to a meeting? Are you going to check on my lead magnet? Check on my website? Do you hear me though? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, what you said there about, it's kind of like that eating an elephant a bite at a time, right? So many people you meet just like regurgitate all over you. They tell you everything in that one long sentence about how it's great for them, right? And then you're like, so overwhelmed or inundated or really didn't have a chance to digest, right? Exactly. Each important element of that conversation that you're so full you can't even think anymore. And a lot of people miss that. And you just pointed that out, which I love for sure. Now, your book, you mentioned it earlier. It says Bad Bitches with Power Pitches, okay, for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. And I'm saying spectacular title, by the way. I love that title because that has a major attitude. It's totally right. It's something you teach along with having that killer pitch, so did you like learn your attitude? Is that part of what you're teaching when, and I would say when you have that amazing killer pitch, does the attitude come because you're like, I'm slaying it, I think
that's one of the things. So I've been a professional speaker since I was 16. So I have 26 years in this game. I didn't start feeling confident about myself until probably for the last 3 or 4 years. So what was I doing all this other time? Faith in it till I made it. You know what I mean? And so now I'm in a space where if I never lose a pound, if my hair is never just black, if it's never with a perm or straight, I'm Gucci on that. Do you hear me? And the only reason it is because I've spent my life looking at people who look nothing like me, be always talked about and put forth. And I just said, if certain people can go have gap years, if certain people can go find themselves, then we have to say that to ourselves and to our young people too, that nothing worth having is easy. Listen, I had to get it out the mud just like most of us have to. The confidence that I have today is, we just went through the pandemic. The hardest part was last year, right? I tripled my revenue in the pandemic. How is that possible? Because when people shrink back, I move forward. Why? Because I've been through homelessness. I've been through addiction. I've had people say horrible things to me, but I did that alone. It was my higher power. When everybody's going through it, if you've already been through hell, you just keep going. You be like, oh, this is your first time. I've been here 56 times. We're going to keep it going. And so you keep going. And the more that I did it, the more those companies started looking, the more nonprofits, the more foundations, more for individuals. Like, how does she keep having a positive attitude? It's because I've been to hell and I kept going. There's no reason to stop there. I've always heard that God gives his hardest battles to the strongest soldiers. I'm real strong. And so if we want to show other women, no matter where they are in the world, but more so in the United States, just because we have a certain way of being, you want to show them that it is possible. You do not have to look like everybody on television to make it. In fact, when people attack me on looks or I should do this, I'm like, is it because you don't look like that? I'm not sure why you're attacking me. Attack the attack the media. You can't. I'm not gonna stop doing what I do because you don't think I fit the mold. Maybe because I don't fit the mold, it's shining a light on people who also don't fit the mold and haven't done it. So I want you to shine your light, right? I'm a 2001 graduate of Spelman College. When I walked in there in September 1997, they called it the Beacon Light. And I don't know about you, like 50 Cent, I'm a shine until my heart stops. Because my illumination is helping other women walk into their light.
Well, I absolutely appreciate, you being the light, you educating and telling others how to be it. And you're doing it not just through the trainings and the books and the coaching, but you're doing it by example. And that is the best way to, of course, be in the world. And so from myself and others, I'm sure we very much appreciate that for sure. So, I really, Precious, I want to thank you. I could talk to you for hours and days.
I know, right?
And just really explore and unpack your world. So how would you like people to get in touch with you?
Okay, so let me give you all my contact information. Again, my name is Precious L. Williams.
Yeah.
I'm the killer pitch master, the CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. On LinkedIn, you can find me under Precious L. Williams, killer pitch master. Gotta stay on brand. On Twitter, I am at Perfect Pitch P. On Facebook, I am at Perfect Pitch P. And on Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitches P. If you go to YouTube, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's called Perfect Pitches by Precious. And also, I do a LinkedIn live show every Sunday called Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitch Master. My website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. Again, that's www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. I also have a new website called www.killerpitchmaster.com, and that's for companies, organizations, foundations, and nonprofits that are looking for a specific type of trainer, a specific type of speaker. So that's more for the speaking aspect. If you'd love to work with me, please check out my website again, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. Go to the Work With Me tab, and you can also schedule time on my calendar. Just go to my website again and go to the Schedule tab, and you can schedule a consultation with me. Again, on my website, I offer digital products, online training. You can also book one-on-one training sessions with me. And to get my books, you can go to Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. You can go to Target, Walmart.com. My 3 books are called Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. My second book is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook. My third book is called Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. You can get them all on those sites, or you can buy them all on my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. I am Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Be sure to connect with Precious L. Williams. You have a lot of ways that you can do it. And to help you reach millions, be sure to grab my free gifts and resources from jointracy.com, and stay tuned to this channel for more exciting episodes of Reach Millions TV here on the Live in the Hive Broadcast Network. Until next time, I'm Tracy Repchuk, and here's to your continued success.